Hey guys, this is Alex from Happy Haiku, and today I participated in the Oceanic Treasure Cup online tournament. It had 320 players, and I came in the top 64. I was placed 50th, which is a pretty good placing. I went 6-3, so I only lost 3 rounds out of the 9 rounds that we played. And I believe, truthfully, that this deck had the potential to go 9 for 9 rounds, and with a better pilot, it probably would have done a lot better. I was pretty much on a break between OP-01 and OP-02, and this was the first OP-02 tournament. So a lot of cards caught me by surprise, and I lost some easy games just based on not reading cards. So problem with online tournaments, it's very hard to read cards. You should have probably a card list with you or something. I don't know. That's a different story altogether. But that being said, um, not being able to read cards and playing with barely any experience, I still went 6-3, and I think that this deck has the potential to go 9-9. I found it very easy to pilot. It's very consistent and super powerful. My matchups today were four Kinemons, 2 Smokers, 1 Mirror Match, and Imperov Ivankov as well. So 4 + 2. What else did I verse? Maybe it was 3 Smokers. I think it was 3 Smokers actually. Yes, I did. I lost to 1 Smoker, and then I beat 2 other Smokers. And this is the inexperience I was telling you about. I hadn't played in OP-02 format. Tried to Gum Jet Pistol the 4-drop blocker Admiral, Basilos or something like that. And it doesn't KO from effect, so I couldn't take that one back. I had to cop the 4 Dawn wasted and the card wasted that I could have used to clear the board in a different way. And then I took a loss that I didn't deserve. And then I versed one Kinemon player that played very good, exceptionally on curve. He had the Okiku on turn 2, and then he just went into the 7-drop Kid and then into the 8-drop Koziki Odin. There was no chance I was beating him, even if I had the best hand. He had very powerful on curve draws. But the other Kinemons that I versed were fairly easy. They didn't draw as exceptionally. And I actually, for the first time, saw 3 1-drop Gordons in your hand going from being a brick to being a complete perfect play. When I played 3 Gordons, buffed 1, attacked, put 2 under my deck, and then used the Vistas to get rid of a 8-drop Koziki Odin, which just like is hilarious to see. And that's another thing about this deck. There are hands I kept that felt weak and didn't feel like maximum strength compared to playing Zoro in OP-01. And in this format, keeping these hands that I thought like questionable end up being so strong because your 1-drops in this game are so integral. So when I was grabbing them, because I'm so used to OP-01, I was like, oh, there's no Zoros, there's no like, where's the win con? But you know what? It's powerful. Just having a hand of 1-drops with multiple searches, you see so much happen on the board. And even you like, I understand how frustrating it can be for opponents to verse against a Zoro because it feels like whenever you remove a 1-drop from the field, you're wasting resources to get rid of that 1-drop. But it's almost a necessity to remove them sometimes. Anyway, we'll get into the deck list. Zoro as a leader is great. There's not much else I can say about him except that he makes weak cards seem OP. And because it's across the board, he doesn't just do it to 1 card, he does it to all the cards on the field. It's pretty much an OP ability. It needs to be nerfed. So this card kind of makes this deck work. Without him, you can't play it. Go into the deck list. We start off with our ones. Okay, so Namis are integral and part of the core. You need them. So we play the 4 Namis. I only have 2 of them in alt art, and there's nothing else I could do about that. I got the 2 early on, and I'm not going to upgrade the other 2 because I think this card is hitting up to 300 USD, and it's just insane. This card is your integral search. You've got in your next 1-drop lineup, you have 4 Otamas, still just as good as they were in OP-01, still 2k counter with a -2 ability on summon. Pairs so well with Robin, pairs even better with Edwin Newgate and Vistas. It's just so impressive to play this card and see what happens with it. It's great. Okay, wait for this to focus. Okay. Then moving on, we'll go into 2 1-drop Gordons. Now, Gordon plays very, very awesomely, similar to having another Atama, but doesn't have any counters. It feels kind of sucky sometimes to have these in hand. Like I said, I had 3 in hand once, and I thought it was crap. I kept playing them anyway because I had the extra Don up, so I might as well use it to summon something. And then at one point, I had 3 Gordon on the field. Buffed one with Makino, buffed another one with Mugara, swung with both of them, put them to the bottom of the deck, and then played a Vistas to get rid of a Kozuki Odin. And that was my turn, and it was amazing. And I still had Don open, and I didn't have any cards in hand, so I just left the game with Don open and still ended up winning. Gordons feel like a crap card, but they're actually amazing. Only problem with them is they're from the promo pack. Not many people kept them. Not many people have the promo packs, and that's what makes this so hard. So you need 4 of them, definitely. But if you don't, then 2 or 3 is fine. This sadly is needed, and it's also from the promo packs. It's Sunny-kun. This guy hits like a rock. He's searchable from Nami because he's a straw hat. It's searchable of Curly Dun. It's what you're actually searching for after time because you want to be able to play this with the Makino or the Mugara in your hand. You need something to buff that's strong and cheap to play. So seeing this in your opening hand is even better. But like even then, you can even search for this and still find it useful with the Curly Dun. This guy is strong, and sadly only from the promo packs. Would definitely recommend trying to pick up as many as possible for the deck. You can play it with 2 or 3, but like I'd recommend picking up as many as possible. This card is a key core card, Makino. Makino is a 2k counter. First of all, that's great enough that it's a 2k counter. But the fact that you play it on the field and then on the same turn that you play it, you can give 3,000 power to any 1-drop, makes it so useful. And don't think for a second, don't get attached to them. Because as soon as you use their ability, next turn they're going in the trash. I only used the card's ability once ever, and then they were destroyed. Or something else was destroyed and I couldn't buff with it. Like don't get attached to them being on the board. They're going to go off the board as soon as you play them. And for good reason too, they're just stupidly broken and make this deck what it is. Mugara is the budget version of Makino, 1,000 counter instead of 2,000. It also gives plus 3,000 power, but only on play, not every turn. So not much as a threat, but it has 2,000 power, which means it can be buffed by Makino, and it can be buffed by Don and Zoro's ability. So ends up being played a lot too, and giving you like that combo power as well. So I only play 3 of them because there's no space left in my deck. But I did like seeing them, and they're good as a 1,000 counter, so definitely play some of them, 2 or 3. The new and best searcher for this deck is Curly Dun. Dun is so powerful if you have an opening hand. My killer hands were actually a hand with like Sunny-kun, Dadan, and Nami. Those hands I would always start, and I play the Nami first, go Dadan and Sunny-kun next. And just swing with the leader. And then like turn after, I'm swinging with like a huge amount of creatures buffed up by Makino I found off Dadan, or already had Makino in hand. I just grabbed another Sunny-kun. I don't know, like there's so much good 1-drops in this deck. Dadan ends up being so useful. So, and it's 1,000 counter. And she has 3,000 attack, so you can buff it easily with 1 Don and Zoro's ability. Very good stuff. Hey. The other best 2k counter that we have from the Straw Hat deck is, of course, the one and only Brook. And sometimes you just end up playing him because the ability to play him and then on the same turn give the Don you paid for him to your leader, for example, to activate his ability. This ends up being so free and so great to play. I had hands where I had 2 of them in hand late game, and I'm like, do I need all the extra counter power? I'll probably just drop 1, give my Zoro an ability, and have this as an attack for the next turn. It just allowed me to apply that extra pressure for the next turn. Sometimes you want to keep him as the 2k counter though, so be careful with how you play Brook. Okay, and I don't have to say much about this. I hope there's an alt up for this one day because Robin is so strong, so good. She is the most powerful rare card in the whole format. The fact that she's rare is crazy enough because she makes and breaks so many games. Having her on board, first of all, she's a target. People have to get rid of her. If they don't, then along with the abilities of Gordons, of Otamas, of anything else that decreases, this can end up clearing the board. And getting aggressive attacks in. So this card is a threat. It's one of the best cards in this deck. Nico Robin needs an alt art. Hope they make one. The new Second biggest threat in the deck, Vistas. Vistas are just so strong. They're a counter as well. I didn't even notice they're a counter. I was never using them as a counter. Free drop for free, fine, that's balanced. But when you play them, you KO a character up to 3,000 or less. And with the Otamas, with the Gordons, you're going to be using this to get rid of big things, small things, anything you want can be gone with this. Such a great card. Definitely need to play for. There's no doubt. Oh yes, the OG. The only thing, one of the carryovers from OP-01, Zoro himself. Still aggressive, still fast, still the best free drop in the game. It goes down, hits hard, and gives you like that kind of pressure you need to usually get the game over the line. Need for four of, there's no doubt in my mind. I'm so sad that this is expensive. It shouldn't be. It should be like a staple, cheap card, an SR that anyone can get. The alt arts should be expensive. I'm fine with that, but again, I only picked up 2 before they end up going up in price, and then kind of got stuck with the 2. But a new card that the alt cost is way too high for because it's overrated. But too many decks will be using this, so I guess it's worth the extra price for the alt art. But these are right now very cheap in the SR form, so grab 2 or 3 of Edward Newgate. You can actually like drop this down to 2 and put Mugoro up to 4, or drop this down to 2 and then play like an extra event card, because I only play 4 event cards. You can play more if you want. This finishes game though. Like whenever I had a top deck Whitebeard late into the late game, especially against Kinemon, this secured games. Against Kinemon, against Imperium Vankov, Newgate sealed the game. It makes your leader 7k. So on play, it will make your leader 7k for 2 turns, for your turn and your opponent's turn, and then the effect will wear off. And in that time, it's your 1 or 2k counters feel so much more useful in your hand. You may have the smallest hand, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna block every attack that someone hits at me. It kind of stalls out in a whole extra turn, allowing you to swing with your Whitebeard next turn most of the time. Use his ability, which is the same ability as Robin, but you have to use 2 Don on him, but that's fine because you want to hit hard anyway. And he, like, usually when you have next turn, you're hitting for 13k of him, and then whatever you want on any other creature you have, you can play Zoro and a Zoro and Rush Zoro and this Zoro, and then bump him up and pretty much go for game. I was always closing games with Newgate. When you put him on the field, people get scared, and for good reason. He's strong. I think 4 is a bit too many of him to play though. People playing 4, I don't think that's a good idea. I play him at 3. It's an optimal amount. You don't see him too much. You see him enough. I still sometimes in one of my games I saw him twice in my hand, 1 from life, 1 from draw. So that wasn't nice, but I still ended up using both of them. So they cleared my first Whitebeard. They're like, okay, and then I played the second Whitebeard, and they're like, oh, not another Whitebeard, and I'm like, yeah, another Whitebeard. So actually not too bad at 3. Would probably keep it at that number. I'm not going to change that. And finally, the only event card I play in my deck, the one and only Yamagamo Jet Pistol. Completely broken card. Goes with your Gordons and your Tamas. They bring down people to the 6,000 power less and make it very easy to clear. This card makes it really hard for Smoker to win. Like Smoker was struggling because I was able to use jet pistols, and I saw so many jet pistols in my life today. Like that's the worst. It's so sacky getting jet pistol in life, and early game too. Like in the early life, and people swing into you, and you're like, sorry, sack that. It's very good. Only event card I play. I would probably, if I wanted to take out some Edward Newgates, I might put in like Radical Beam, 1 of or 2 of. I didn't feel the need to play Diable Jambe. That's probably because I didn't verse any Whitebeard today. And I feel like I struggle really, really hard against Whitebeard because I don't have a way to close out the game. When they have 2 Marcos on the field and other blockers and have full control of the field, I find it very hard to beat a Whitebeard. So maybe that's why I didn't feel like I needed Diablo Jumbo today, because maybe it's just lucky and I didn't have to verse a Whitebeard. I don't think that there are that many Whitebeard in attendance for the event today. So maybe if the games were different and I played versus more Whitebeard, I may have been in a different position saying, God, I wish I played Diablo Jumbo. But because honestly, that Whitebeard loses Diablo Jumbo. Just play Diablo Jumbo on leader, put 9 Don, swing for 14, and they can't really do much at the end of the day. That's why, like in OP-03 format, Diablo Jumbo makes a return in Zoro. But right now, I don't think Whitebeard is too much of a threat. The people aren't playing it, so I didn't see it at all today. Anyway, that's my deck list. Hope you guys liked it. Very excited for the next regional maybe, or treasure cup. I might change my list up. I might play Whitebeard. I have Whitebeard just here ready to go. It's the Moby Dick version. Moby Dick version is high risk, high reward. It's very inconsistent, but if you do well, then you win. And it plays the ace, which is one of my favorite characters from the anime, so might be worth playing. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please thumbs up, subscribe. I did upload some live streams today from the tournament, but I don't know if they're going to stay up on my stream, so watch them while they're still up before I remove them. If you guys want to see more videos or gameplay, please let me know, and I'll record some and show you some test hands. Thank you guys for watching.